made you want to play piano in the first place?
So I grew up in a very kind of musical environment. I have an older sister. She used to play piano, and also my parents love classical music, so I was always listening to a lot of concerts when I was little, and then I kind of thought of it more like a hobby, something that I like to do every week. But then I started to grow more involved into the music and starting to feel the effects of what music can do, and so from then I started to really enjoy playing the piano.
When did you start playing the piano?
I started when I was 4.5. I think I was going to my sister's piano lessons when I was a baby, and then when I was 4, I guess my first piano teacher noticed that I really liked listening to piano, and so she encouraged me to start from then.
How much do you practice every day?
Right now I practice when I'm not on concert. At home I'm probably practicing 7 or 8 hours a day, and then on the road at the concert halls maybe like 3 or 4.
What was the hardest piece that you remember playing?
I mean, there's many different difficult pieces. I think usually a lot of pieces by Rachmaninoff or Liszt are very difficult, like Rachmaninoff's Third Piano Concerto, or Liszt like the Hungarian Rhapsody, or like the Don Juan Fantasy. Those are very difficult. But then also even like Beethoven and Brahms, like it's a different type of, like maybe technically it might be a little bit easier, but there's a lot of kind of spiritual depth that you have to achieve, and that's a lot harder as well. So.
Do you think the piano is a percussion or string instrument?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I think, well, technically it's supposed to be a percussive instrument, but I think the great thing about the piano is it imitates so many different other instruments, so I think it has the capability to also produce very smooth lyrical sound, and you can kind of imitate so many other instruments. So in that case, it's a little bit different. So for me, it's kind of like a instrument that kind of can recreate sounds of an orchestra, or also be percussive when it needs to.
Do you have any advice for kids who don't want to practice?
I think in anything in life, like if you want to be really good at something, it takes a lot of diligence and persistence, and also just a lot of hard work and support from your family and things like that. So I think those things are very important. But then also just to never give up. I think that's also a thing, because even if you like something, there's something that you like to, for example, like sports, right? Like you still need to practice in order to get better. So I think, especially in music, there's a lot of ups and downs, and kind of just going through the ups and downs. I know there's a lot of distractions nowadays with like social media and like phones and things like that. So, but I think just the more that you kind of focus on one thing and just be persistent and never give up, and try to, with great teachers and great parents, I think just keep going, and I think you'll get there.
And last question, did you know you wanted to be a pianist when you were younger?
Yeah, well, I don't think in the beginning I knew. Like I said, it was kind of like a hobby in the beginning. Something that I liked to do. It was kind of like, for me, it was kind of like I enjoyed the challenges of kind of overcoming obstacles every week. But then I think maybe in middle school, I started to notice how music was different to me, and it kind of can really have a lot of magical power sometimes. So I think from that moment, maybe when I was 13 or 14, that's when I started to really want to be a pianist as my career.
Thank you.
Yeah.